Welcome to another episode of Fluently Speaking with your host, Rod Fluellen. I'm so excited to be bringing you another episode. Many of you know, prior to becoming a full-time realtor, I spent the last 16 years in public education. Of those 16 years, I served 10 years as a special education teacher and 6 years as an assistant principal. However, since becoming a full-time realtor, I've had several people ask me about my transition. So in this episode, I will discuss my transition. I'm also going to discuss why I made the transition from education to real estate. I'm also going to discuss how my experience in education helped me as a realtor. I'm going to discuss my journey as a new realtor, and I'm going to provide some advice to realtors or people thinking about becoming a realtor. Now, to address the first question, what made me transition from education to real estate? Before I answer that question, I first would like to say I truly enjoyed my time as an educator. I had the opportunity to work alongside some amazing educators who are truly dedicated and passionate about serving students. Now to answer the question. As a teacher and an administrator, I truly took pride in building relationships and serving each and every stakeholder that entered that school building. However, I was limited to just that school building. I am now at the point in my life where I want to have a greater impact on multiple communities throughout the great state of South Carolina. Being a realtor provides that opportunity for me. For example, as a realtor, I'm able to serve and assist families in Sumter, Orangeburg, Lexington, Pelion, Swansea, and Columbia, just to name a few. So the number one reason why I made the transition from education to real estate is simply because I want to have a greater impact on multiple communities. The second reason, and I'm just being transparent, is I want to be able to provide a certain type of lifestyle and experiences for my family. It's no secret that educators are drastically undervalued and underpaid. And yes, my salary was higher as an administrator in comparison to when I was a teacher. However, what many don't realize is as an administrator, we are contracted to work approximately 50 more days in comparison to teachers. Also, as an administrator, I literally work 12-hour days almost every week. For example, I was over bus duty and had to be at school before 6 a.m. to ensure students got off the bus safely. Now, after school, I could not go home at the sound of the bell. Again, I was over bus duty. So if a student was returned to school for whatever reason, for example, let's say the student is in kindergarten and there was not an adult at the bus stop waiting for that student to get off the bus. The bus driver would then return that student back to school, in which I would have to wait until that student mom or dad pick him or her up. What a lot of people don't realize is that happened often. So here I am working from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. while only getting underpaid for 7 hours of those 12 hours. But with that being said, I did gain great experience, which brings me to the second question. How has my experience in education helped me as a realtor? As an educator, I was able to gain experience on understanding the power of building great relationships. This is critical in any sales job. And as a realtor, I seek to build great rapport with all my clients. The second thing is a set schedule. In education, I had to follow the bell system. Many realtors fail due to simply not having a set schedule. In real estate, no one is going to call you to make sure you are doing everything you are supposed to do. So setting the schedule and following the schedule is the key to success. Number 3, support. As an assistant principal, providing support to teachers and parents is huge. It is also huge as a realtor. Research has indicated that buying and selling a home is one of the most stressful tasks people would do in their lifetime. So providing support throughout the process is key. Number 4, effective communication. As an educator, I gained experience with the importance of following up with phone calls and or emails and also documenting those tasks. As a realtor, that is the number one complaint about realtors from most clients. Most realtors do not practice effective communication. So by you having effective communication will surely set you apart. Now I want to go to tap into my journey as a new realtor. Coming into real estate, I truly did not know what to expect. Yes, I've seen TV shows such as House Hunters and Selling Sunset, but those shows only show a small portion and are often scripted. So my journey consisted of a lot of learning, role playing, practicing scripts before actually getting my first deal. My journey so far has consisted of a lot of no's before receiving a yes. But I've learned to just stay consistent and keep building brick by brick. I have the goal of serving at least 30 families this year, and as of now, I'm on track to reach that goal by simply just building brick by brick and being committed to practicing my scripts. Now I want to provide some advice to new realtors. In order to be successful in this business, you have to have a heart to serve. This business relies heavily on referrals, and you don't want to be the realtor with a bad reputation. I will also say being coachable and asking questions are also key. I will encourage you to find a top producer in your office, become friends, and follow his or her blueprint. You want to make sure that you're being reliable, dependable, knowledgeable, but most importantly, you want to always maintain your professionalism regardless of whatever happens. Thanks again for tuning in to another episode. Until next time, I'm out.